Let him stare.
Okay, look, what kind of man would I be if I saw an opportunity to help my woman and I didn't take it?
The kind of man that understands his woman is perfectly capable of helping herself. After all, I did get this stupid job without you. You know, if you want to guide someone so bad, Tony, this is what you do. You hop on that tram, catch you a flight to Italy, and you go guide them badass kids of yours.
Man, oh man. So an argument at the airport got the attention of other airport employees and some random customers, but Tony and Danny, yet again, they are going at it for seemingly little reasons. Now, don't get me wrong. What Tony did was sweet. However, I think he was wrong in the fact that he didn't consult with Danny first about the leadership program, because of the fact that it's going to eat up a lot of her free time. Basically, what was he saying? You know, there are seminars and workshops and things like that that occur, you know, after your work hours and sometimes on the weekend. Yet none of this stuff is paid, which, you know, I get it, because in programs like this, you really don't get paid for it. I mean, sometimes you have to pay a fee if you want to be involved, or let's say if you're a standout employee, one of the higher ups might take notes like, hey, I want to refer you to this program, and based on your work performance at your current level at this company, this could be a good fit for you if you want to advance in our, you know, corporation, or maybe you want to build up your resume or something. So if you decide to apply to another job, you can start out above like an entry level salary and position. So there are benefits of doing programs like this. However, Tony got it wrong, because like, I will agree, I stood with Danny in terms of her saying, look, after all the time you've been with me, you did you not realize I'm not someone who wants to move up at this company? Like, I got this position without you, you know, where I work at now, and I don't need you to help me elevate. Now, Tony was wrong even further. I mean, I will admit, it did feel kind of sweet for him to think this way about Danny, but I think it depends, and I mentioned this in my review too. If the writers tweaked the Danny storyline just a bit, this could have worked out. Tony was under the assumption it's like, well, you know, the rest of your girls, you know, are doing their thing. Like Sabrina made bank manager and or branch managers. Karen got her new salon, and Andy's up for being partners. So I thought, you know, maybe you felt left out and wanted to kind of elevate your current, you know, career too. But you know, then it gets to the point where he puts his foot in his mouth, and then Danny does go for some low blows in terms of, if you want to be with somebody that wants to like talk about elevation careers, get with that other B, you know, your ex-wife. And then he mentions, or then she throws his kids under the bus, which I'm like, Danny be doing too much. Like, I get it, Tony was out of pocket, but he wasn't like rude to the point that she's rude. She's basically doing what she's definitely regressing. And I feel like this started what was it, episode, was it 2? I think it was 2. I said that episode where it's like Danny, filler is dangerous, where Danny just went to the point of saying, I don't even want you to help with my therapy journey anymore. I'm doing this by myself, when all Tony was trying to do was look out for her. Now, in my review, I said what could have been better with this storyline is if Danny, in a heck, this would have been perfect to put into episode 2, because we spent way too much time jumping around to the apartments and homes of these characters who were seemingly getting ready for work, yet they just randomly go to the penthouse beforehand to talk with Andy. You could have had a scene where, let's say, Danny, you know, talked about the way the girls are advancing their careers, or maybe she felt like this leadership program wasn't for her, because, you know, when it comes to the sister circle, you know, these girls and me, we got some ups and downs, but for the most part, I'm the person that tells the truth, and I always get silenced for it. You know, Karen is like the de facto leader, where I pretty much just sit in the corner, because anytime I say something that's correct, I get said that I'm crazy, or, you know, I'm smoking too much or whatnot. And then, you know, Tony could have interjected with a small little, you know, snarky remark like, are you sure it's not the pen that has you saying that stuff? Tony, oh, my bad, I'm sorry. And then, you know, she goes on to get a little emotional, talking about how she never felt she had leadership qualities, because in most situations where she tries to, like, you know, take control in a way that, you know, guides the other characters, she's silenced, because like whenever Andy says something or Karen says something, if they're the focus of the sister circle meeting of that episode, two of the girls, whether it be Andy and Sabrina or Karen and Sabrina, will double team her, and she just sits in the corner, is like, forget it. And then it comes to pass that more often than not, the things that Danny says that get her silenced turn out to be correct. And then when another, like, let's say if Andy is talking about Gary, Karen says something, And then, excuse me, Danny says something and gets silenced for it. Like 6 or 7 episodes later, Karen will say the same thing, and it's like, girl, you right. And then Danny's in the corner like, I said the same shit and y'all told me to be quiet. This is why I don't even know why I show up to these. So basically, Danny's leadership role that she could potentially take is no longer interest to her, because whenever she's in a quote unquote position to give advice or, take control, she's silenced for it and ridiculed, hence why she feels like maybe a leadership program isn't for her. So this could have been a situation where Tony could have sensed that, signed her up for it anyway, and then gave her the encouragement needed to kind of, look, I know you feel some kind of way about your role within the sister circle. Well, let me help you out by putting you in this leadership program. So, because, like, hey, I know you're doing the therapy journey alone, but you're working on, your mental health and whatnot in therapy. So I feel like maybe being in this leadership program could help with your confidence and show you that in one situation of your life, the sister circle, you might not have that quote unquote leadership role. But here's another position where you could just take that desire and put it to, good use. And well, if you play your cards right and put these leadership, qualities in the right places, you can actually monetize it. So I think that would have been great. But instead, we just have more forced tension that sadly just proves that these two really aren't a great couple. And Danny's regressing to how she was when she was with Preston. So it's like every time Preston tried to do something right that any other girl would swoon over him for, Danny just doesn't appreciate it. And like I said, Tony was out of pocket, but it could have been done in a way where we could actually see them grow closer because of this decision he made. But hey, it's neither here nor there. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. At this point, I don't even know if these two will make it to the mid-season finale, not just the end of this season. And I'm not saying Preston needs to come back, because if nothing else, like, yeah, Danny just, doesn't deserve him. So let's talk about it in the comments, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.